Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the special event here on the Region Sports Network. And it's Nancy Keeler, Realtor from At Properties, presents the 2025 Ball Diamond Sports Festival, streaming live on the Region Sports Network on regionsports.com, Facebook/Region Sports Nation, and the Region Sports YouTube channel. We come to you today from the beautiful hub city, Crown Point, Indiana, as the city of Crown Point opens the 2025 Youth Baseball and Softball Summer Leagues. Electric for today's video broadcast is generated by NWI Elite Electric in Crown Point. Michael Brenner here on site helping you see all the sights and sounds of the festivities here today. We're at Bulldog Park inside the pavilion right now. We've got a great team out here today on the Region Sports Network bringing you all the action. The parade is actually taking place right behind us, just coming off of Court Street. Actually, the parade is starting to make their way into the pavilion right now. As I look off to my right, they are heading towards the amphitheater at this moment in time. It's going to be a great day. Always fun when your town leagues get started. Any baseball season gets started in general. Always the best time of year. Baseball and softball, personally, my two favorite sports out of all of them. That's just me personally. But as the kids start to make their way with their families down to the amphitheater, which we are used to here at the Region Sports Network, having covered the Cal Ripken World Series the last couple of years right here, and opening ceremony is always right here inside Bulldog Park at the pavilion as well. So kind of used to the grounds here, if you will, covering this great sport and these terrific athletes that are here in Crown Point. And what a great event to get this thing started up. You know, so many cities do so many different types of opening events to try to get their seasons going and try to get people to stay with the sport and then eventually move on to your high school levels. Obviously, here on the Region Sports, we cover high school sports as our primary target. But, you know, this is where it starts. Events like this. This is how you get kids to that upper level and to those varsity sports and the high school level sports that we like to cover here on the Region Sports Network. So starting to bring it to you at the younger levels at this point in time as well, which should be a lot of fun. We'll have different interviews throughout the course of the morning/early afternoon, as this is going to be going all early part of the day long here. Temperatures not too bad, a little on the cooler side here, and you talk about opening summer leagues. Definitely doesn't feel like summer weather, but we'll take spring/fallish weather to kind of get things going, but just kind of comes with the territory here in Northwest Indiana. Again, Michael Brenner here on site in Crown Point, and one of the best things about Crown Point as well, if you are traveling through, or if you have your teams traveling and playing here in Crown Point, is that the facilities are always some of the best that you are going to find. Crown Point has really made a point of hitting a lot of the great sporting events and hitting a lot of the fields and making sure things are turf and the playing surfaces are the best that they can possibly be for the athletes. So have done a really good job here in this city of making sure that the venues are tip-top shape, not only for the players to play on the surfaces, but for the spectators to be able to watch as well and stuff like that. So you got Jerry Ross Park over to our right over there, and then there's Legacy Fields not too far behind me, where as these kids get a little bit older, they'll play at Legacy Fields, which is closer on the other side of the square. And then one of the great venues as well is when you are at Jerry Ross Park, which we've been the last couple of years, you get a lot of really great views. Of course, who wouldn't want to look at the Grand Old Lady and the Crown Point courthouse over there? I'm not sure if, as we mentioned, we have our great crew on hand here as more and more fans continue to file into Bulldog Park here near the amphitheater, where they will have, I'm sure, some opening ceremony type events going on as well, where they'll have, I'm sure, a list of dignitaries up there. And then we're also, not to mention, we are going to, like I said, have interviews with some of those dignitaries. So make sure we'll bring those to you throughout the broadcast as well. Waiting for a few directions here. I believe our executive producer is going to try to join in on the broadcast here.
What's up, Michael?
How's it
doing,
going,
everybody? All right. What a cool thing to have going on here.
I'm pumped.
This is very cool, and it's about to get full. When this is all done, they're going to do, I guess, they'll address the attendants, the crowd, and
right.
up on stage and talk a little bit, and then everybody will make their way over here underneath the rooftop. And
I was explaining that, obviously we've been here for the Cal Ripken World Series quite a bit, and this is where they have the opening ceremonies, and I don't know if we'll have a flyover today, but, we've had those in the past, and, everyone's going to sit down there, and a lot of times the music's blaring, and I'm sure somebody's busting a move out there. I know you had said you were going to prevent that because you weren't going to show off your moves too early here.
Well, it is early. That's the problem. I'm still working on my coffee yet.
Hasn't done his morning.
And my caffeine hasn't kicked in yet. Yes, I haven't gone to the second cup yet. So, but what a facility here, Michael. I mean, look at this. This wasn't always here. This is just relatively new. What we're under at Bulldog Park and the pavilion over here. For those who don't know, and I know we can't get an angle of it right now, but just to our left was the old high school.
Correct.
And the old football stadium. And back in the day when this wasn't here and you came to a game at what do they call it? Anyway, it had a nickname. The dog pound, not wasn't a dog pound. Bulldog Turf is what it was called.
Okay.
You could see at night, the square would be all lit up, Michael. It was so awesome.
That's the best part. And now it's Colonel Wheeler Middle School over there, and they just recently turfed that field.
Correct.
So really cool. I was just explaining to our fans just the facilities here in Crown Point, some of the top-notch you're going to find, not only in Northwest Indiana, just really around the state or even the country sometimes. Crown Point has really done a great job of making sure all these parks, I was mentioning Jerry Ross Park, and eventually these kids are going to move up to the higher levels, Legacy Fields down the road a little bit, great facility as well. But, it's hard to beat when you're sitting at one of the parks there and we're calling a game from our press box and you get to see the grand old lady in the background. It's tough to beat a view like that. So
yeah, it's a unique, Crown Point's a unique community for us in Northwest Indiana with the downtown area the way it is. And, it was a little sleepier back when I was young, but they've done so much in the last 30 or so years, and they continue doing things to make it a drawing point for people. I know people that are driving here from Valpo and Chesterton, people coming from Illinois to do things down here on the square. So it draws people from not only Crown Point but outside of it. But one of the things, and maybe the coolest thing about it is the stuff like this.
Yes.
The sense of community, no matter how large Crown Point has gotten.
Yes.
Okay? It's still, in a lot of ways, it still has that small town, sort of feel to it. Events like this don't typically happen in big places. They happen in communities.
Well, and you talk about the community buy-in. If you were walking down Court Street a little bit to kind of see the start of the parade, I don't know if you noticed, if you walk through this square area, there are banners like what you see around these pillars right here. There are banners, and they feature the athletes of the current season that are going on. So you see banners of the current softball team. Or of the boys volleyball team, whatever the case may be. And that's during the football season. So you drive around, you're seeing these athletes on these banners. Like, they're buying into, the community is buying in to this school community, and it's phenomenal to see. And you mentioned this pavilion here, Chris. I want to mention this. Do you remember? I'm sure you do. We were here opening night. We were here when this place was open.
Correct. Yeah, I remember. You were right here interviewing the mayor.
I was
right
here.
I do remember it. You hosted it for us.
I was right in the middle. This was an ice rink at the time. I was right in the middle of the ice.
Yep.
And I remember they were getting ready to switch things over. And as they were switching things over, the Zamboni came out. And my first thought was, oh, man, I know Chris is going to want me to get on that Zamboni. So I did a live shot on the Zamboni, holding on for dear life.
A classic moment in Region sports history for sure.
I did not fall off, by the way, just for people.
But, yeah, I mean, that's just the kind it's the kind of community it is that people by the hundreds, maybe even the thousands, come out to an event like this. And I don't know that other places could put on something like this to the degree that they're able to do it here in Crown Point. The entire community, I mean, the amount of people here is mind-boggling. There's not a parking space open, Michael, and it's been that way for an hour. And it's Saturday morning. I got here at 8:30, and I had to look for a parking space. And it's just people walking in from all over, driving in from all over. And the coolest thing to me about the whole thing, Michael, is that we got the little kids here.
Yeah.
In their baseball uniforms and softball uniforms. And think about what a thrilling moment that was when you were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, the beginning of the season? What are the most exciting days of the year for a young kid?
When you're a kid, you can wake up early in the morning. As you get older, that kind of goes away. But you get up in the morning, and the first thing you do on that morning when you know you're going to have that parade to start the season, you sleep in that jersey the night before, right? You put on that jersey the night before, you wake up so that way you can just roll right out of bed and go right to the event. So a lot of these kids probably did have their jerseys on last night. We're seeing them run around. They're coming over by us. Kids found out real quick there's some Bozo buckets behind us over here to the side with
hey, Martin, if you can, jump on here, maybe scan around a little for us on the camera here.
Yeah, move that camera
and
around.
Let's get a look at some of the activity going on. We've got Martin Murillo, our young cameraman, with us here. So we're going to take a look at the crowd. Michael and I will get out of the way a little bit here. And as people are starting to make their way into Bulldog Park, number of vendors here today, including Frank Rivoli, who we'll get a word with. Any Region baseball fans from back in the day, that's a name they might remember. But again, to me, the coolest, because what you see is the smile on the kids' faces and the energy and all of that stuff. And that's what they bring to an event like this, the excitement. Parents are excited, it's fun, but just imagine these kids here in front of us with their jerseys on, like you said, probably sleeping with a smile on their face.
100%. Getting ready to start in my opinion, America's greatest game. This is the best sport to be a part of, baseball or softball. And when you have the success at the upper levels that Crown Point is having, it makes it even more fun because these kids see those players. And that's why I think having the banners of all the players is even better, because then they want to have that, right? And so this makes it even more fun, right? So you get the smiles on the faces, you get people invested and involved, and it's, obviously we're here for baseball and softball, but it's all sports. I was driving by some of the fields that we've called some of the football games at. There's kids playing soccer out there. There's lacrosse. There's so many sports in Crown Point. They do such a phenomenal job of organizing that, and people in the community, whether they have a child in the program or not, they love seeing it because they know that it builds and it helps the community be as prosperous as it is.
Absolutely. The families get engaged in what's going on in the community. It strengthens the community, and the kids, they get involved at a young age. They get direction. They get discipline. They get a dream, maybe, something to go after. And then, like you said, you see the banners out there of the high school kids. Well, when you're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, those 16, 17-year-olds are like heroes to you.
Absolutely.
And high school's promised to everyone, not necessarily high school sports. There are ones that cut, but everybody gets to go to high school. Not everybody gets to go to college, and certainly not everybody even gets to think about the pros. That's right. A dream beyond most of it. But high school is a realistic challenge and opportunity for most kids. So when you're a youngster, that's what you shoot for, And Crown Point right now, Michael, as you know, they're good at everything.
They're booming, to say the least. It's an understatement. And I think another piece of this, too, and you've seen it when you've gone to games, Crown Point has their varsity players or their JV players, they go out and sign autographs after games. Like, you don't see that too many other places. And talk about one of these kids getting those hero aspects. Like, that's the best part to me. As a resident myself, I'll throw that out there. As a resident of this city myself, it's great to watch. I love it. I live right by Legacy Field, so I can just go watch over there and see. There are tournaments there, like almost 24/7. It feels like. I just drove by yesterday, and there were like giant buses full of people that were people bringing their their campers and stuff to camp out for the week or the long weekend or something. It's awesome. So there's nothing better than it here in Crown Point.
Yeah, they really are doing it upright. David Uran, the mayor, for a long time, really got things going at a high level, and now Mayor Pete Land is continuing it. The business community supports it. The city population supports it, and you can see it. It's evident when you come to an event like this. And this is just one of many. There's a lot of different things that happen here. This is just one that we happen to be at. But, they've got things going on here. There's hockey in the winter and skating in the winter.
Correct.
Concerts are played over here at the pavilion, on the
like
stage.
The movie in the parks, those kind of things.
Yep. So, and they all draw well. And you may have mentioned, Jerry Ross Park, just, to the north of us here. Literally a baseball throw away if the wind is behind you. So everything is so walkable down here, and to me, that's the coolest feature of it all. There's so much to do in a walkable distance.
Well, and you talk about, I mean, obviously an event like this, and even if you're on the travel teams and you're coming here for a travel tournament or something like that, and you're thinking, okay, what is there to do in Crown Point, Indiana? Well, you talk about how much it's changed over the years. You know, you go around the square, and there are some, like, wonderful dining establishments for you to go get meals with the kids. There's one over there where you can get, like, golf simulators and bowling simulators and stuff like that. You can have a really good time here in Crown Point. And it's not just the sports aspect, it's the, you know, we've been talking about the community, but there's just so many different things. And if you're, you know, antique shops, if you're into antique shopping, that's around here as well. And, you know, if you're a history nerd like me, there are some historic homes that have been here since the 1800s that, during COVID, I was out walking constantly because I needed to get out of my house and move a little bit. Otherwise, I would, gain 500 pounds. And I'm walking in the community and just looking at these houses and thinking, like, oh, my gosh, this is phenomenal to be able to see, the architecture and stuff like that. So if that's something that tickles your fancy, that's something to look at as well.
Yeah, I know the history you talk about. I mean, that may be, all the great benefits and features of Crown Point. I mean, that's one you can't create there. It either it exists or it doesn't. And here, that kind of history, the old homes from 140 years ago, this is where John Dillinger escaped from. I mean, there's all kinds of history to this. And, some of the homes in the neighborhood that's just to the, I think, south of us here and to the east a little bit, that area. Anybody that digs the old home styles and things like that, I would suggest a walking tour, a bike riding, situation where you just kind of go over there and enjoy everything.
I know there is a trolley that comes through every once in a while as well, and a lot of really cool opportunities. And Chris, you talked about how the building behind us, Colonel Wheeler Middle School, used to be the Crown Point High School. Not too long before that, even if you go down the road here. You said this was to our south over here. If you go down here, there's a building that says Crown Point High School right on it that has now been turned into, I don't know if they were apartment complexes or duplexes or whatever.
Been a number of things. It might have been a library at one point. But
but it says Crown Point High School right on it.
It's the original, from 100 and some years ago. Yeah. Right, exactly. So you're correct. Yeah, John Wheeler, which is the former high school, is not the original high school.
Right, so you got that one down there.
Now we're at our third one already. But the history of Crown Point, it goes way, way back. And a lot of it has been preserved. And that's what the cool thing, I think, most of all about. We got a lot of history, but you go up north, you don't get to see much of it because it doesn't exist anymore. You get south here to Crown Point, and you know what? It's like a step back in time to it. It's got the best of all the amenities. It's got the old, it's got the new, and kind of everything in between. So we're
going to tune you into our national anthem at this time. with them. And Chris, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit of chills. I was kind of just like scanning the crowd, and you see either current or former service members that are saluting our great flag and our great country, and that just gives me chills when I see something like that on a brisk Saturday morning. But we've been talking so much about the landscape here in Crown Point, the history, and obviously there's opportunities to come on by here and maybe make yourself a resident here of Crown Point.
A lot of people are doing that too. It's a hot spot to move into, and
I was one of those a few years ago.
Yep, and I know a lot going here, so you can understand why it's such an attractive area. All right, you're watching excuse me a second, Michael. I just wanted to mention to everybody that's just tuning in, you're watching the 2025 Crown Point Ball Diamond Festival. The opening ceremonies here on the Region Sports Network are presented by Nancy Keeler, a realtor from At Properties, and we appreciate Nancy stepping in. For the best service and results, give Nancy a call at 219-313-5030.
I'm assuming, I was trying to segue into, because I saw you had the read in your hand, I was trying to segue in if you wanted to, purchase a home here.
You caught me off guard. You're one step ahead of me. Go ahead and finish that thought, Michael.
Well, I was just thinking, obviously you can call and get an opportunity to, look, if you're looking for a nice home. They're always developing here in Crown Point. There's always things available. There's anything from historic homes to the townhouses that are available out near me. I know quite a few people have moved out in that area. I'm in one of the townhouses, but a lot of opportunities there. You can contact Nancy Keeler. You have that information, right? The number there?
Yep, her number is 219-313-5030. Again, 219-313-5030, and it's Nancy Keeler. And when you contact her, be sure to mention to her that you were watching the Crown Point Ball Diamond Festival on the Region Sports Network.
And it would be, Chris, one of the things, too, is obviously, and I keep mentioning that Cal Ripken World Series because that was such a big deal for not only Crown Point, but for us as well. And, if you are somebody that maybe was tuned in from one of those states or areas that had a team out here and you're still following, you're like, oh, what are those guys up to? And you're like, I really liked it out there in Crown Point. And you're thinking about maybe moving up to this area. There's an opportunity for you.
Absolutely. And, there's really, I've looked, there's prices in all kinds of different the houses in different, or the living spaces, whether you want a house, like you said, a townhome, a condo, an apartment, whatever it is. There are properties available in all price ranges, all budgets, so all age groups, all whatever your family size might be or whatever your income is. There's probably something in Crown Point that you can find.
And then if you've got young kids that like sports, you get to be part of the festivities like this, and who wouldn't want that?
Yeah,
and then you can walk through and you can awkwardly stare at the camera wondering what's going on, like some people have been doing, like looking at, what are those guys doing?
Yeah, okay.
We love that.
no one comes around us either. But, yeah, it's a kind of community, Mike, that really offers everything from, from churches to schools to parks to all the amenities downtown, whether, you want to visit one of the establishments and, and see a band or, have a few beverages or have something to eat. It's got something for everybody here. You don't have to be a sports fan to like Crown Point.
It's electric.
It is electric. Speaking of electric, Michael Bradner, when we come to an event like this, we got to figure out how to get electricity. We're remote. Where does power come from? Well, today it comes from NWI Elite Electric. They are responsible for electricity for today's coverage of the Ball Diamond Sports Festival. They've generated it all. It's NWI Electric, powering your world with innovation. That's NWI Electric. And Michael, you're on fire today, speaking of electric.
Well, I don't want to necessarily be that, but they're also helping sponsor or probably help warming up my hands. I got my electric hand warmers here with me. Not my first rodeo in events like this on days like this. So turning into a pro's pro with this.
You are a natural, Michael, and that's why we always call on you first when it comes to something like this.
I know
you've got the right mentality and personality to come out here and host something like this. So we're glad to have you.
I've been staring at the stage. We obviously had our national anthem. I believe that's Mayor Pete Land that's heading back up to the stage right now.
Okay, well let's see if we can't throw it up there then, and you and I will sit back for a moment.
Works for me.
And pick up the mayor. We'll let him talk.
know how to play hard, play fair, right? Play to win, but most of all, you have fun, right? Enjoy your teammates, enjoy your families, enjoy the season. That's what it's about. So we have a long-standing tradition, kind of kick off the season, 1, 2, 3 play ball, which I love to do. We got our new stage up here at Bulldog Park. I think I'm going to invite all the players to come up to the stage with me, and we'll do the 1, 2, 3 play ball together. All right, you don't need to get so close to the edge. It's a big stage. Take your time. We're not going anywhere. Here, let's back up right here. Right here. Perfect. Where's my workers? All right, back up, back up. There you go. Perfect. Take your time. Great job. What's your name? Here, what's your name?
Lillian.
Is this your first year? Second year? Nice. All right, you're doing a great job, kids. Doing a great job. Watch her, come on up. There you go, honey. Great job. Say your name.
Haley. Anna. Dean. Piper.
Are you guys excited for the season? Heck yeah, we're excited.
I'm Autumn, but my teammates call me Bob. There's already another Autumn.
Very nice. All right. How we doing? All right. Now, has anybody done this before the countdown? All right, I'm going to get over here so I don't get in your parents' way. Okay, now listen. I'm going to do a 1, 2, 3, and then you guys are going to shout as loud as you can to play ball. You got it? All right, nice shot. All right, we're almost all up on stage. First year playing? Very nice. Your second year? Almost there. This went a lot smoother when we had like 200 or 300 kids. All right, no jumping up and down. Stay focused. All right, kids, you did a great job getting up here. Now, are we ready? Do you remember your line? All right. Okay, parents, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, great job. Have a fantastic season. Appreciate all of you.
All right, we're back here inside Bulldog Park at the Pavilion here with Marissa Hawes, and administrative assistant for athletics here for Crown Point. Marissa, you really helped get this whole event today off the ground. Talk to me. When did this planning for this event start, and how it all came about today?
I usually start to plan probably in 2023 at the end of the year.
2023. For 2025?
2024, sorry.
Okay. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, so I go through my vendors from last year and ask them first come, first serve. And then probably January, February, I started looking for new vendors.
Okay. And then just kind of getting all the organization and planning and getting all the kids working with, obviously, the teams to come out to this event today. How many teams are represented here today?
We have 565 girls.
Okay.
I don't know how many boys because they are a separate entity.
Okay.
But between myself and Paul Weisnor, the director of athletics, and John Stroya, he's one of the crew leaders, we all work together on this event.
That's awesome. It's turning into a phenomenal success already right now. We just had some words up on the stage, and now everyone's going to start trickling in and start going to those vendors that you were talking about. And we already know we got some Bozo Buckets going on over here behind us, which I'm probably going to be playing a little bit later.
Right. Don't forget your food.
Oh, yeah, we got food, plenty of food. I was looking at some pretzels a little bit earlier. I saw the tacos over there as well.
Hot dogs.
Plenty of stuff coming out this way. So you got baseball and softball. Now, how long is the season technically go? So we're starting off today, early May. How long can we expect the season to go here in Crown Point?
About beginning of July.
Beginning of July. Okay. And then if they want to get registered, if they're looking at this event like, whoa, I missed something, or, there's plenty of signage that goes along Crown Point. I see it every single day.
Yeah.
But if they want to get signed up for events like this, to join a team, where can they go? How can they get to join a team?
So they can call me at 219-661-2272 or 2271, which is John, and we will get them placed on a team.
And then social media aspects, where are you guys at?
We have a Facebook page with the City of Crown Point, and they also have a registration page on League Apps.
Okay, so baseball, softball, everyone's starting to trickle in.
Yep.
Your role today, obviously just making sure everything is kind of going smoothly. What are you looking for other than, obviously, like I said, making sure everything goes smoothly? What are you trying to soak in on a day? Like you started planning all this, you've gotten everything going on. What are you trying to soak in today?
I just want the families to enjoy the time together, get to know their coaches. This is kind of like another introduction to meet the other teams, and hopefully the vendors do great today. And
then, obviously this is the time where everyone can be cordial before the battle of competition begins, and then across the parks, friendly squabbling will take place between the two, right?
Yes, correct.
All right, any last-minute things you want to throw in there about the city and how people can get involved?
It is a great place to be. Also, check out the Sportsplex. We have great concession stands run by Kim Schultz. She just started taking over that. We've got new food over there, new vendors. But yeah, other than that, play ball.
All right, perfect. We are ready to go. Baseball, softball here at Bulldog Park. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll have plenty more here from the Bulldog Park here at the opening festivities of the Crown Point season. We'll be back on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Our hero, Lantern Man, faces off against a nefarious insurance swindler.
I'll trick them into a contract and just keep raising the rates.
Luckily, they can make a call to Crow Company's Lantern Man. He's always ready to protect families from the insurance swindler.
I can easily defeat your overpriced policies. Fair prices always prevail when you call me, the Crow Company's Lantern Man.
Crow Company's insurance professionals, Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Welcome back to the Region Sports Network. Michael Brenner here along with Mayor Pete Land. Mr. Mayor, first off, what an event going on today. What are your first thoughts about seeing all these kids here kicking off the baseball, softball season?
You know, it's a great kickoff to the season. My favorite part of this is just seeing all the kids' excitement, whether it's their first year in the parade in the season or it's their last year, the level of excitement, that gets me stoked every time.
Absolutely. How many years has this been going on?
So we started a Blue Diamond Festival like we see today just a few years ago. It always used to be, back in my day, the Little League Parade, and then we had our girls softball league just explode, so we turned it into one big parade, one big festival for all the players.
Yeah, it works out, and obviously you're seeing the success of this. We opened up the show just talking about how this community has really kind of dove into bringing the best facilities, bringing the best amenities to not only the players but to the fan experience as well. Talk about how the city has kind of gone through that transformation the last number of years.
Yeah, you're right. So we've always had pretty good facilities, but we've really stepped up the last 6-7 years. But it's really a partnership. It's a partnership between the city, the Cal Ripken League. We couldn't do it all by ourselves. So with that partnership, everybody's like-minded. It's a capital investment. Yeah, it costs a lot of money, but it's investment in our city and our kids, so well worth the money.
And we get, I say we because I am a resident of Crown Point, but we get so many different tournaments that come here. Obviously, this is the foundation for Crown Point right here. Kids getting involved in in these types of events, and then it gets onto the high school and building all that. But then the tournaments that come here as well. It's just a well-run, oiled machine.
Yeah, it is. So last year we had Cal Ripken World Series. We were the host city, so we had teams literally from all over the world, which is great for the city, great for those players coming in. But it's also great for our own kids. They can come in and watch a baseball game from a team from another country.
Right.
So that whole experience, it's great stuff.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. We got the pleasure of covering that event. We got to broadcast all those games the last 2 years because it's been here twice now. And I believe we're looking at trying to get that back here in the future. We'll see how that works out, but it's just a great event. And one thing that I love is when you drive through the square, and I think this is very underrated when it comes to the city style. I don't know many other cities that do this, but when you drive through at least the square and other aspects of the city, there's banners of our varsity players, and that's all year long, all the different sports, all that kind of stuff. How does that get started? Where do you guys start to? Who do you contact for that to get that stuff going?
Yeah, so you can contact. It goes through our PACE department, which is based right here at Bulldog Park, and we started that a few years ago. And what a kick it would be for the players to see their banners.
Yeah,
like you said, up for months and months on the square. Everybody's driving by it. And then during the World Series, we have all the individual players. All their banners are all over the fence lines within the complex. So it's just a nice little added touch. It's good for the city and great for those players.
And it's just showing that investment, trying to keep people here in Crown Point for sure. And then when these players, softball, baseball, see those banners up there, like, oh, I want one of those one day. So it gives them that opportunity to strive and want to continue to do well here in Crown Point. All right, any shout-outs you want to give to help make this event possible today? Make sure we give recognition where recognition is due.
It's just going to be great. Cal Ripken League, Tom Hatt, the whole board, looking forward to the great season. And for you guys for coming out and covering it, really appreciate means a lot.
All right, well, that's Mayor Pete Land. We'll be back here for the Ball Diamond Sports Festival here at Bulldog Park on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With 40 years of experience serving Indiana, Illinois, and Tennessee, Ennigenberg Exteriors has only had one goal in mind: to achieve excellent customer service. From commercial and residential roofing to siding, window, and door replacement, Ennigenberg Exteriors delivers 110% customer satisfaction from the first hello to the final walkthrough. Visit Ennigenberg.com for more information, or give them a call at 219-365-2837. Ennigenberg Exteriors, restoring hope one project at a time.
come back. Good.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Can't wait for summer, but dreading the heat because your old AC let you down? Don't sweat it out this summer. Call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. The professionals there can fix you up. Install a central air unit that'll last for years. Your family deserves to stay comfortable. And with a 24/7 emergency service, comfort is just a phone call away. Give them a call at 219-923-4441 or check them out on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
The Athletic Performance Factory is Northwest Indiana's premier athletic training center. The 40,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility features batting cages, a sand training room, a new outdoor turf infield, and so much more. Check out the facility for one of their daily classes at 3150 45th Street in Highland. Interested in signing up for team workouts or individual lessons? Check out their website at trainapf.com or contact them at 219-750-1087. Athletic Performance Factory, where athletes are made. Welcome back as Nancy Keeler, Realtor from At Properties, presents RSN coverage of the 2025 Ball Diamond Sports Festival right here on the Region Sports Network. No, I am not Michael Bradner, nor Chris Ramirez. This is Mike Dewan, your sports director and on-site producer, just checking in with you guys. We're going to show you the sights and sounds a little bit as we're kind of here, again, at Bulldog Park for the opening of the softball and baseball seasons. We're looking for some more people to interview, but if you're tuning in and local, come on down. We got plenty of great vendors and activities for the young ones, and of course you could maybe find yourself on camera right here on the Region Sports Network. But shout out again to Nancy Keeler, who again one of our presenting sponsors for today's festivities. Again, that all coverage at 2025 Ball Diamond Sports presented by Nancy Keeler Realtors from At Properties. For more info on Nancy Keeler, visit atproperties.com/sites/Nancy Keeler. Also, we got to remind everybody that electricity for today's coverage of the Ball Diamond Sports Festival is generated by NWI Elite Electric. Powering your world with innovation, that's NWI Elite Electric. And again, got to give a shout out for our great crew on hand here today. For, of course, your two gracious hosts, Michael Bradner and Chris Ramirez.
We just talked with Mayor Pete Land of course, Crown Point, and again, myself, Mike DeWan, Zach Snelly, and Martin Murillo Jr. as well. We're going to step aside here for a break, and we'll be back with some more interviews here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, this is Tim down at Tire Pros and Auto Superstore, 5200 Cleveland in Maryville. 219-887-3333 is our phone number. We've been serving the region and building relationships with our valued customers for the past 23 years. We have a wide variety of services, quality tires with the best warranty in the nation, and some of the most skilled mechanics I've ever worked with. Let us exceed your expectations. We're setting a new standard. Come on down, ask for Mike or Tim. We'll take excellent care of you. Thank you.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
All right, we're back, everybody, here at the Crown Point Sports Festival, the Ball Diamond Sports Festival at Bulldog Park. This is John Stroya. John, your position with the city of Crown Point?
Yep, I oversee the several sports. In the winter, I oversee youth hockey, adult hockey, learn to skate program. We do an indoor basketball program, indoor volleyball program. And our volleyball goes 12 months a year. Basketball goes 12 months a year. And in the spring and summer, we add baseball and our softball program, which consists of a recreation division, a women's division, and a travel team division. This year, we have an all-time high of 76 teams and over 850 girls registered to play softball. And we're possibly going to add another branch to that tree, a women's or girls high school division, which will be June only because the girls don't their season until June. So that could add another 40 or 50 girls into our league. And it's just a solid foundation. And then we have a back-to-school softball league also, which is really fun because it's just a short league, but we are able to attract 400 to 500 girls each of the fall seasons.
Well, John, if I can, I got to ask you, I mean, you're involved in this, and sports is just busting at the seams here in Crown Point like in no other community. It's all the things that you mentioned. There's that and more, be it, again, from the youth level all the way up to adults. What is it about Crown Point? What's happened? What's been the key to sort of making all of this sports magic happen over the last really 10 to 20 years?
Well, I think a lot had to do with when Mayor Dave Uran was in position. He has a big emphasis. He has an emphasis himself in coaching basketball. He was the Hanover Central High School coach at one time. He officiates basketball. His emphasis is in youth sports and providing sports and opportunity. He saw the national programs in a leisure level, a recreation level with Parks and Recreation throughout the country. And he built a solid foundation here. Mayor Land has just really taken it to the next level. They continue to, the city council and the mayors continue to support that effort in bringing athletics of all ages to Crown Point, and it's attracting people from all different communities. With our volleyball, we have players from Hammond to Michigan City, from DeMont to Rensselaer, all the way from those locations coming up to play in our events and in our leagues. And it's just that a lot of people can't house those types of programs, and our business model is very successful. It's a lot different than other communities. Example, our softball league will go to, in the summertime, will go to the middle of July. Other communities finish their softball programs by the middle to towards the end of June. So we have that extra 3 or 4 months where girls are playing sports and playing athletics, and they're active in the summertime.
Well, one thing that I think is unique about Crown Point in that in a lot of communities, the community leagues kind of fall underneath the Parks Department, and then they're handed off sort of to league managers, board members, things. Crown Point is unique in that you guys have that extra layer of athletics involved, as your title being athletics director and all of that sort of thing. Talk a little bit about how that came about, because to me, I think that middle layer is what allows everything to function at such a high level. You're not just handing it off to a turnover of board members or league presidents or things like that. There's actually some stability that you guys are bringing to it.
Well, and that's part of the beginning of PACE. PACE was Parks, Athletics, Communications, and Events. And so we still have a Parks and Recreation program, but the athletics is a little bit of a dynamic that Mayor Uran wanted all underneath one umbrella, and that's how PACE came about. And so his emphasis was to still have both, to have a Parks and Recreation program, but also to have an athletic program. And so most of our athletics, our softball programs are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday during the week, and then weekend tournaments. So, you're kind of, it's a great business model to where you're still providing great programs for people in your community, but you're bringing folks into Crown Point to visit the community, to go to restaurants, now hotels, see what a great community is, the school system, and the community's just growing because of great leadership, quite honestly.
Yeah, I would have to agree, and I think as you're growing, a lot of times when that happens, there might be some separation or dysfunction of services or whatever it may be. In Crown Point, everything is cohesive and unified, whether it be from the Cal Ripken League to the Junior Bulldogs League to all the way to the high school. Everything seems to be coordinated in a way that people work together and not against each other.
Well, and it's nonstop. I mean, there's sometimes one season's getting ready to end, and the next event is already started, and it's overlapping. Last year with athletics, I ran 75 leagues, and it is just nonstop. This year we're adding, our sand volleyball team's been so successful, we've had to add 3 different divisions onto Thursday and 2 on Friday. We have over 50 teams in our sand volleyball league.
That's
and
incredible.
It just keeps multiplying, and it's just such good people that are involved. But so much like our youth sports so much is involved, because our success really comes from the parents that volunteer, and there are managers and coaches and scorekeepers, and the fact that they want to be involved in their kids' lives and take leadership and have that commitment of being involved. It just goes without words how grateful and appreciative we are.
Sort of the underlying strength of the community right there.
Absolutely.
We have a foundation on which you can build things.
We have parent involvement to the highest level, and we're so grateful and thankful for those parents that are involved in their children's lives.
And that was evident at an event like this today. I got a chance to walk around the squares. Everything was getting started and set up, and this being the county hub, it's also a hub of activity today. And the kids, to me, you see all the little kids out here in their baseball and softball jerseys, kind of the opening ceremonies of the season. How exciting is that, for a little kid? And they bring that energy here with them. And it was just, they were coming in droves today.
And it's fun. And you see some of them start a theme. They might give themselves a nickname, and they might decorate their face and put hair ribbons in their hair, and it's a festive, that's why we call it the Ball Diamond Sports Festival. It's supposed to be a festive experience, and it is. They look forward to it, and they look forward to having a great season, and we have been blessed with continuous growth each and every year of not only softball, but all of our events.
And, the location of everything, I think Crown Point with the square, again, kind of a unique situation for communities in Northwest Indiana. Bulldog Park here added to that, so everything's so walkable and so easy to access here. It's very easy for people to come together in an event like this.
Well, especially like in the wintertime when we have open skate, learn to skate lessons, youth hockey, adult hockey. You get spectators that come here, they'll watch the event, the activity for a little bit, and they'll walk to the square and have dinner. And they'll come back at the end of learn to skate lesson and pick up their child. But it's, after the event is over, and it just kind of works hand in hand. It builds up. You have great restaurants now in the square. People are proud to come here and not only have their kids participate, but the way the growth of the community has grown is just in a positive way.
Absolutely. And one final question, John. I noticed a lot of Sox letters, SOX, on the front of T-shirts and things. South side here, the White Sox. What's the connection there between Crown Point and the Sox?
The Chicago White Sox sponsors a few different communities in Northwest Indiana with their program, and they provide jersey tops, and they come in and do baseball clinics. So that's more on the baseball end of it, but they do an outstanding job, servicing local communities in the Chicagoland area.
That's outstanding.
But there are a few different other communities where they sponsor those teams.
Well, I'm a little more of a Sox fan now hearing that than I was before I heard it. So, but I'm a Cub fan born and raised, but that's got nothing to do with it here. It's great that they support the youth and all of that. And again, the smiles on the kids' faces today, I think that's the most precious thing when you come out here, to be able to see that. And, we were all that age once, and just think about how exciting a day like this would have been.
It's a great atmosphere.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, John. John Stroy, everybody. John, thank you very much for coming over and having a word with us. He's with the city of Crown Point. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Our hero, Lantern Man, faces off against a nefarious insurance swindler.
I'll trick them into a contract and just keep raising the rates.
Luckily, they can make a call to Crow Company's Lantern Man. He's always ready to protect families from the insurance swindler.
I can easily defeat your overpriced policies. Fair prices always prevail when you call me, the Crown Company's Lantern Man.
Crown Company's insurance professionals. Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
All right, we welcome you back as Nancy Keller Realtor from App Properties presents RSN coverage of the 2025 Ball Diamond Sports Festival right here on the Region Sports Network. Wind has picked up just slightly here that has nothing to do with the fact that both Chris Ramirez and I have been talking over the course of this broadcast, just how nature works, I guess, in that particular case. So things still going on here at Bulldog Park for the festival. We've talked so much about how this levels like this and watching the kids have so much fun like they have been. I mean, we've just seen, smiles and giggles and all that kind of stuff throughout the course of the morning so far today, as we just kind of pan around and see more of what's going on here at the Ball Diamond Festival. And as Chris joins me here again, it warms your heart, Chris, just to see the excitement, the joy, getting ready to start another baseball, softball season.
Yeah, I mean, the community spirit all by itself is pretty cool. But then, for sports fans and anybody who's been through playing, youth baseball or softball at any level, think about, especially in the early days, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I started at 8 at West Glen Park Little League in Gary. And every year, opening day, or, we didn't have an opening ceremony per se like this, but that first time putting on the jersey, the night before, like you talked about, getting ready, how anxious you are, how hard it is to sleep.
Yeah.
How you jump up first thing in the morning and you know what it is. It's baseball or softball day. And that's kind of what the feeling is here today. I mean, the coolest thing for me is the smile on the kids' faces, to see the joy and the happiness that, the sport of baseball or softball brings to them.
Yeah, and then you get, obviously we've been talking to some dignitaries here in the Crown Point area, but, some dignitaries that we don't get to talk to are guys that have made it professionally, like the Plesac family coming through Crown Point here and having a lot of success, and then coming back and contributing to this level as well. And then the kids see that and they're like, oh man, I want to strive to, I want to be, I want to see that. I know like Zach Plesac has, made nice contributions to the Jerry Ross Park over there with the Cal Ripken, going back to the roots. And, you remember these types of moments, and that's what makes that kind of success so much more fun. And you want to be a part of that when you're older, and you just want to continue to develop and be the best that you can be.
Yeah, and I know when my daughter became old enough to kind of do all of this, and as a parent going through it, it was so much fun, and you get to meet a lot of new people, parents and other things that you become friends with for life, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a group of people that my wife and I spent about 10 years with, we didn't know before we got involved with this. And a lot of those same people are going to be lifelong friends now. So it's, and we met them in our 30s or 40s. So you just never know. I mean, the experiences that come with all of this are really cool, whether you just keep it local or whether you end up, doing some traveling or whatever. But just the whole experience of following your kid and watching them grow and become friends with other kids, and it's really just, a unique thing. And I don't know if other countries have this, but in America, we've got baseball and softball, and that kind of kicks off the spring and summer part of the year,
My favorite part of the year. For sure.
Football, I know, you said baseball is yours. Baseball is my second favorite. Football is my favorite. But it's different. It starts in the fall. And as George Carlin says, that's when everything's dying and getting cold. Baseball, what's great about that is you're looking forward to getting outside. Yeah. It's warm all of a sudden. The weather is nice. The leaves are back on the trees, and you'll want to get out and do stuff. And, what better than baseball? What better than softball?
Couldn't agree more. And you talked about like the friendships with the parents. That's how you build those relationships. But the kids get to the one thing that being an educator is I get to go watch some of my students go out and play at events like this, and then I see that they've been friends. It's a group that plays together for since they were like you said 8 years old, and then they go off and win a state championship. Like there's a group. We just covered the Lake Central's team. Last season. There could be a group here today that helps Crown Point win a state championship.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it all starts at events like this, and they're playing together since they were this age, and then they get to go up, and then, Strayer gets to have that later on down the road. And
this is kind of where the dream starts,
and then
too.
you get softball, too.
You see these little, 6, 7, 8. This is where the dream begins. Yeah. That dream of someday, being on a big league roster or whatever, or even playing for your high school team. This is where that dream begins, and that's part of the excitement of it. every kid has the same opportunity at 7 years old. Nobody's been eliminated from that shot at a varsity or college or a pro roster.
Correct.
Everybody at 7 years old still has that dream in front of them.
Correct. And I've seen a young man throwing a little, little like stress ball football over here, so that you never know. There's maybe the next Crown Point quarterback over here as well. But
a real sports town here, no question.
Oh, it's I started to call it Turf City. Just because everything around here is turfed anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the baseball fields, the softball fields, football, all that kind of stuff. So,
we got Dave Padilla. Dave is part of, we talk about sports from the youth level. They've got it all the way up. I mean, the Lake County Corn Dogs are based here in Crown Point, and, that's a college summer league type team, and there's several of those. Think about that, Mike, how fast that's grown.
Oh, it's,
5 years ago, I mean, it was just starting to form.
It was in its infancy and just kind of started to talk about throwing ideas about bringing like an independent league to Crown Point, and before you know it, they're winning league championships.
Yep, and there's teams all over on both sides of the state line. I mean, there's actually two different leagues that have grown out of it. So, and Crown Point, of course, with its legacy field situation over there, that's so nice. What a great facility. College kids come out, and it's not a step down for them from what they're used to playing at the college level. It may be, in some cases, it may even be better than what kids were able to participate in at the college level. So I think Dave is going to come over now. I'll get a word in with Dave, and then we'll let you take on an interview with Frank Rivoli after that, okay?
All right, we're going to have the camera turned
here
in just a second.
Come on over, Dave. You'll take this microphone here. All right. Where are we going to look? Right in here? All right. We got Dave Padilla with us from the Lake County Corn Dogs. Dave, welcome in, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Glad to have you, my friend. Yep.
Good to see you as well.
All right, let's talk a little about the great festival here, first of all. Isn't
absolutely.
It something?
It's always a great festival. The City of Crown Point, the Little League organization, they put a great program together every year. This is our 4th year being here, and it's always a good time.
Yeah, they do it up right in Crown Point, whether it be, from the junior Bulldogs level to the youth softball to the Cal Ripken, you name it, and all the way up. We were just talking about that, and now it's to the point where it's even got a summer league college team. So let's talk about that. Tell me about the Corn Dogs.
Lake County Corn Dogs is a collegiate baseball team here in Crown Point. We play at Legacy Fields. So we have the kids come in from high school all the way up to their senior year in college. And basically it's the developmental leagues. It allows them to hone on their skills in the off season. Plus, it allows them to play some great baseball in front of some great fans.
Awesome. So when does the season kick off?
May 26th, I do believe.
Okay,
couple weeks is opening day. It's Wednesday. Again, Legacy Fields. We have a lot of great things going on throughout the year. A lot of promotions. One of the big ones is Christmas in July, July 19th. We have Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus is out there. A lot of giveaways, so it's a good time, family friendly.
Like it. Yep, sounds like it. So for people who follow us on Region Sports, we do a lot of high school baseball. You mentioned some seniors. Are there local kids that get involved in your team or in the leagues you guys are with?
Absolutely, yeah. There's quite a few local kids, and it's a great way for the community to see these kids play at the next level. A lot of the kids go on to college. Obviously, they'll go away, don't have an opportunity to see them play at the next level. This gives them an opportunity, the local kids, to play in front of their hometown families and friends.
Definitely. Now, so what's the league you guys as the Corn Dogs were involved with?
We're part of the Region Collegiate Baseball League. It just started this year. It's kind of a mouthful.
Region Collegiate, though. It slides right out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a brand new league. We have teams, obviously, here in Crown Point. East Chicago has the East Chicago Thunder. We're out in Valparaiso, post 94 or 194, I do believe it is. And then we have a team in Hammond at Riverside Park, the Calumet Beavers.
Perfect. Okay, great. So people can kind of see baseball no matter what part of the area they're in.
That is correct.
You guys are represented, be it Porter County or Lake County, north or south.
Yes.
All right. Well, Dave Padilla here. Anything else you want to promote on the league, Dave? Anything you can tell our audience? Is there a website they can go to?
They can go to LakeCountyCornDogs.com, or they can go to RegionCollegiateBaseball.com.
That is a mouthful.
That one is a mouthful. And if you go to the Corn Dog website, we have a link to the overall, and you'll see all the schedules. We've been putting out the players, so we've been announcing the players. All the teams are doing that as well. So you'll see our roster is already full, and now we're just promoting the kids.
All right. So last thing here, I know Ralph Flores is the owner of the team.
Yes.
I know Ralph had told me at one point the reason he liked the corn dog name more than anything, it signified fun.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
and that kind of thing, and that's sort of the atmosphere that he wants to provide when people come out to the ballpark. Is that right?
That is correct. It's community baseball, community through baseball. So it's family friendly, very affordable. Again, we're right down the street for most, the other ballparks. And it's a lot of fun. Cornelius is out there every day. We have promotionals, different promotions where the fans it's interactive. The fans go on the field. They'll do different promotions, anywhere from the sack race to a hula hoop. And then we have some adult games as well. They spin around on the bat and then try to run, which is very entertaining as well.
Concessions are available at these
Concessions
games,
as well,
right? For
yes.
people of all ages, right?
That is correct. And we also have a beer garden sponsored by Off Square Brewery.
Okay, great. So there you go. I mean, what more can you ask for on a nice summer night? Come out, watch a little baseball, have some fun, have a cold beverage as well, maybe something to eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Visit the square. It's not too far from there. So, Dave, thank you very much for coming
Hey,
over and
thanks
having
for
a word
having
with
us.
me. Yep,
Appreciate
absolutely. We're looking forward to seeing you this season.
All right, thank you.
Dave Padilla, everybody, Lake County Corn Dogs. We'll tell you more about that later. We'll be back after this on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With 40 years of experience serving Indiana, Illinois, and Tennessee, Ennigenberg Exteriors has only had one goal in mind: to achieve excellent customer service. From commercial and residential roofing to siding, window, and door replacement, Ennigenberg Exteriors delivers 110% customer satisfaction from the first hello to the final walkthrough. Visit Ennigenberg.com for more information, or give them a call at 219-365-2837. Ennigenberg Exteriors, restoring hope one project at a time.
That's half the battle.
You got it. Yep.
So,
yep. So
right.
yeah, have them look me up. All right. Yep. All right. Take care, man. Yep. You got it.
I'm going to mention Cal Ripken is actually raising funds for child cancer.
You learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Can't wait for summer, but dreading the heat because your old AC let you down? Don't sweat it out this summer. Call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. The professionals there can fix you up. Install a central air unit that'll last for years. Your family deserves to stay comfortable. And with a 24/7 emergency service, comfort is just a phone call away. Give them a call at 219-923-4441 or check them out on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com.
You are watching the 2025 Crown Point Ball Diamond Festival opening ceremonies here on the Region Sports Network, presented by Nancy Keeler, Realtor from At Properties. Michael Brander back here at Bulldog Park along with the executive producer, Chris Ramirez. We've been talking to a lot of different individuals. Place is kind of starting to clear out a little bit. Still some fun things going on here, but what an event it has been today. And one thing we do want to mention before we get to another interview here in just a second, Cal Ripken is actually raising funds for childhood cancer research, and you can go to all their social medias for that. That's one thing that they're trying to promote right now, and obviously something that affects a lot of different people, at any level. Obviously, childhood cancer is probably the worst thing to think about in anybody's life, and it does affect quite a few people, unfortunately. So raising funds for that to try to eradicate that would be the best thing possible. Absolutely.
It's a fantastic thing that they're involved with,
Yeah.
and anything we can do to help them be more successful at that, we're certainly obliged to do.
Yeah, so if you can look on any of their social media pages, they'll have links to how you can donate to help with that particular research and funding and all that kind of stuff. So I know we want to jump on with one more interview here.
Yep.
I'll grab that
all
from
right,
you.
Yeah, before I hand the mic off, we're going to have Frank Rivoli. And if you remember that name, Frank was a great catcher back at LC. And I was talking to Frank a little while ago about that era of catchers in the region, and there were just a number of them. Every school had somebody good for about a 4 or 5 year period. I mean, all state-level catchers all over the place. And he reminded me, I mentioned Pete Jurich from Munster, and he reminded me of the guy that followed him, and that was Brett Keeler. And Brett is the son of our sponsor, Nancy Keeler, today.
Oh, there you go.
How small the region is. It all comes right around. I couldn't think of who the Munster catcher was that followed, oddly enough, and Frank was the one that
If you're
remembered.
a Lake Central catcher, you know that other catcher over there in Munster.
So we'll bring Frank in now and talk about it. Frank is no longer playing baseball. He's playing guitar now. So you guys talk about that and whatever else.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining me,
Yeah,
Frank.
of course.
All
Good
right,
to see you.
What's going on?
What's up, dude?
Oh, I'm living the dream every
good to
single
see you.
day. Good to see you
Love
as
it.
well. A couple LC alums here on a Crown Point
That's right.
broadcast, but it is what it is.
And not just alums. We were right next in grade.
That's right. Yeah, you were right
So
ahead
I
of
saw
me.
you in the hallways.
Yeah, it's true.
Those big hallways.
Those big hallways, for sure. E-Hall.
Yeah, right.
It's not that way anymore. But, what an event this has been a part of today. You get to come out and kind of see the kids at the younger levels. What did this mean to you when you were at that level, kind of going through something like this? Did you have something to this extent, or the parade's getting ready?
Yeah, I did. So it means a lot. It's obviously, the kids that really love the game, they idolize all the major league players, and they get to see the parades when they win the World Series, especially from around here. I'm a Cub fan, so we saw a parade a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Sox saw one in 05. But for this, it gives them that extra level of they feel like it's another level where they almost feel like a professional. You know what I mean? They get the glamour of the town and the city being behind them. We had it. I grew up in St. John. We had parades like this, and it was great. And they would have contests and stuff back in those days and stuff. But it's great.
Yeah,
So-
one thing that we were talking about is, when you get ready for that first game of the year, and I'm sure you can attest to this, did you sleep with your jersey on the night before? You wake up and you just go right to the ballpark? Because
I might have. I can't even remember.
Because we were just thinking, you're so excited to get ready for this, whether it's baseball, softball, whatever the case may be, but you get so excited for this time of year because I think you're probably in the same boat as me. This is my favorite sport. I love baseball, softball. So you put on that jersey the night before, you wake up, and you just go right to the ballpark, get yourself a hot dog at the ballpark to get ready for the game, and then you're doing the thing.
Yeah, I mean, the best part was when you first got your jerseys and your uniforms and you wore them to school.
Yes.
So you showed everybody what team you're on and,
There's a pride to that, right?
who was going to be the best team in the league that year.
Yeah.
The best part was, these kids all go to school together for the most part because there's obviously so many elementary schools nowadays. But the best part is playing the night before and going to school the next day and, everybody talking about that big hit or whatnot, or being in school playing your friend that night, being like, you're going to lose tonight.
Yeah,
and you see what
I got
happens. You know what I mean?
We're going to see how that goes tonight.
The third and fourth grade smack talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I love every second of it. And the position you played, as we've mentioned, was catcher, which is not the easiest positions to play, but certainly probably the most important. I think the most underrated position in baseball. Pitchers get all the love, but catchers is the most probably important position out on the field. That's why so many catchers have turned into managers or broadcasters or anything like that.
Absolutely.
So, I know you used to do instructional stuff. I don't know if you still do that.
Not as much anymore. No,
Okay.
I'd like to get back into it. I just don't have the time right now. But
yeah, I got you. But one thing you were also doing is you're a performer.
Yeah,
doing
like,
some music,
like the local music man.
Yeah, I love it. I always see the posts. I hear the songs posted and everything like that. So I know you get to perform here in Crown Point quite a bit.
Yeah.
Do you have a schedule around this area here in the near future?
Yeah, if you go to frankrivolimusic.com, just click on shows, you can find all the dates that I have. I play here quite a bit. Last year I played with the hometown jams.
Okay.
They had Lee Bryce here, which I got to open up for him, which was super cool.
Very cool.
Music became my dream after baseball. I played at Wabash College, and as you said, I was a catcher. I ended up tearing my lat, which makes it hard to catch when you have a bad lat at that point. So
a little bit.
So then I picked up guitar, started playing, and that's been already, 12, 13 years. I was just talking to Chris about how much time flies. I remember playing and hearing his voice behind me calling the game. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, some of those good old LC Crown Point
Good
games
times.
back in the day.
Good times.
One of the things that somebody was talking to me about was, Crown Point, I feel like they're always in the running as a team that could win a state title. I mean, they're so close every year, but there's so many good teams in Northwest Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So for a team to break through, Crown Point obviously building the foundations at events like this. What was your stance when you guys were playing Crown Point, the rivalry that would take place between the two schools?
I mean, it was brutal, to give you the best word of it. It was brutal. We were always jacked up about it. The parents, the fans, the students always supported. I feel like those were always well-attended games, whether they were at Crown Point or LC. They were always nail-biters until they weren't. Brutal was the word, because sometimes we would get in some scruffles. Benches might clear possibly sometimes.
And that was just to go over dinner reservations, right?
Yeah.
Like, where are you guys going?
Yeah,
We're going
exactly.
here, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and there were some crazy games. I mean, I got to give Chris credit. The one time I remember beating Crown, I mean, there were always nail-biters. We only beat him one time, and it was because I would always watch guys cross the plate my entire career. Only happened to me twice in my life. Once in Babe Ruth and once against Crown Point. Saw the winning run with 2 outs, missed the plate, got the ball, stepped on the plate, told the ump, I appealed, missed the plate, called him out. Place was in uproar, and I believe, if Chris remembers, I think there was about a week of Region Sports, everybody saying, well, that's not an out. Oh, that's an out. Rivoli did the right thing. The ump shouldn't have called that. Yeah. So I got to give Chris credit because he backed me up. He's like, well, kid should have hit the plate. Rivoli saw it, so why not?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that we can bring is we kind of got that video replay. I can't tell you how many times I've actually been I was actually at a basketball game not that long ago, and one of the coaches, like, there was a kind of a questionable call. One of the coaches turned to me. He goes, "Can we get a replay of that?" And I was like, "We can't do that for you, but
throw the flag."
Yeah, but we also get to have the towns get together and talk about those things. So always fun rivalries, but it starts at events like this, and I still say, and I think this is the coolest thing that Crown Point does, and I'm sure you've seen it when you've gone through playing in the square or wherever it is that you're performing in Crown Point, the banners of all the kids, the varsity players or JV players around. These kids are going to see them and be like, I want to be on there one day.
Yeah.
I want my banner right here. Like, this is the top spot maybe for one-day baseball, softball, whatever the case may be.
And that's just another level. Like we talked about how this makes the kids feel like they're professionals and they're, appreciated for being an athlete. Same thing for those high schoolers. When they're seeing their face around town, gives them that appreciation, like, wow, I'm at a level where, the city's behind me.
Yeah.
Because my face is on the streets.
Now, I got to ask you this. Do you wish that you were playing on such beautiful facilities that Crown Point has now compared to when you were playing? Not that they were bad, but certainly better conditions than...
so Crown Point had that field when we were playing.
Yeah.
So I just missed, we had the burial grounds, which was really a flood zone when it rained back in the day.
Yes,
and now LC Baseball has a beautiful facility. So, I would have loved to play on that. Although, I'll be honest with you, as a longtime baseball guy, I am not a big turf fan.
Okay.
I feel like the ball should hit some grass, let a player make a play. And
you're all in favor of the dirt flying up in the air.
It's great for drainage and letting the kids play when you have turf and you don't have to do so much field maintenance. But, there's something to be diving on dirt and trying to make a play if it hits a lip. That's the name of the game.
I've seen it happen, and I've seen teams get eliminated from postseason play because of things like that. So,
and such is life. That's why I love the grass.
Such is life, for sure. All right, well, we appreciate you taking some time to chat with
Thanks
us.
so much.
Continued success on the music, and if there's any more catching developments that I'm sure we'll help promote that as well at some point down the road.
Yeah, and I want to give you guys kudos too. You guys have been around since I've been here, and like the only game in town. You guys have always been there for local athletes, high school, down to lower ages. And I know you guys do some college stuff and some stuff with hockey and all that stuff. So you guys are a big part of what makes us feel professional, too, when we have people calling our games and we can listen back and see how all that went. So it's awesome. We appreciate you guys.
Well, I think our executive producer is shedding a tear over there over those nice words.
Of course he is.
Maybe one of these days we got to get Frank on a broadcast. I know you've done it before.
I have done a couple, yeah.
So maybe we'll have to get Frank on a broadcast one of these days. I'll be happy to work with you.
Awesome, love it.
On a good matchup. All right, we'll have more here from the Ball Diamond Festival here at Crown Point in just a moment. You're watching the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
The Athletic Performance Factory is Northwest Indiana's premier athletic training center. The 40,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility features batting cages, a sand training room, a new outdoor turf infield, and so much more. Check out the facility for one of their daily classes at 3150 45th Street in Highland. Interested in signing up for team workouts or individual lessons? Check out their website at trainapf.com or contact them at 219-750-1087. Athletic Performance Factory, where athletes are made.
Welcome back to the Ball Diamond Festival here on the Region Sports Network. Michael Brenner here with the executive producer, the guy, Chris Ramirez. He's batted the tears a little bit of those nice words from Frank Rivoli. I know,
brought a smile to my face.
I say I'm sure that brought a little smile for sure. But it does go to say that we have been here 25 years now. Region Sports has been around and helping promote these young athletes at all different playing services and whatever the case may be. And obviously, you can get a lot of different coverage other places as well, but we try to bring you the only game in town and make sure that we're making sure that we bring the best quality for sure.
We sure try, and I'm gonna thank Frank for those kind words. And I think that's really going back to a bit of a different era, the early days, and baseball was not accepted as live coverage. Getting radio time, there was no streaming. Getting radio time was very, very expensive and difficult. So that somebody can remember that we were willing to go through that hard work and effort and hear about it 15, 16 years later is pretty gratifying, I have to admit.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're somebody that feels like has a really good touch on the knowledge of baseball, softball, I know we're always looking for some help with color commentary and play-by-play and guys that are working behind the scenes as well. So let's
give them a shout out. Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
We got Zach Zanelli over there, Z Squared. Got Mike Zanelli, our sports director. He's taking care of all the production and equipment elements today. And Martin Murillo, the newest member of the region, one of the newest members at least of the Region Sports Network. And Martin drives all the way up from the Evansville, not that far, from the Rensselaer area, sorry.
That's quite a drive just to come to an event like this. Hey, that's
good thing he's not hitting me up for mileage.
Say that's dedication right there. And as soon as the wind stops here, just a reminder, the coverage of the 2025 Ball Diamond Sports Festival on the Region Sports Network is presented by Nancy Keeler, Realtor from At Properties. For more info on Nancy, visit atproperties.com/sites/Nancy Keeler. And we'll...
wind's blowing it a little there. But, thank you to Nancy for making it possible. We were going to come either way. What this does is, it takes care of our expenses for the day. We can only do so many of these if we got to pay for them out of our own pocket. Having the sponsorships that step forward, one of the reasons we've been around so long is the generosity of the Northwest Indiana business community who's been able to support what we do all these years.
Yeah, it's easy to think that we can just come out here with some camera equipment and some broadcast equipment and just call a game. And, seemingly that might look like what happens, but there's, you have to pay for all that equipment and all that kind of stuff. So
there is some work that goes into it.
There is some work that goes into it for sure. And we want to remind everyone that electricity for today's coverage of the Ball Diamond Festival is generated by NWI Elite Electric, powering your world with innovation. That's NWI Elite Electric.
Yeah, it's another one. We're coming out here. We're at a remote location. What are we going to do for power is one of the first things we ask ourselves when we start planning. Where will there be an electrical outlet anywhere? What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? So, again, there's a lot that goes into that. So to have someone that's willing to, kind of cover that end of the expense cost for us, we definitely appreciate.
Yep, couldn't agree more. All right, our executive producer is the guy to my right, Chris Ramirez, our operations manager, Rich Castillo, coordinating producer, Zach Miller, our sports director and on-site producer today is Mike Dewan. Also got Zach Zanelli, as Chris mentioned, doing the camera. Martin Murillo doing a fine job as well, kind of helping with camera, learning production, all that kind of fine stuff. And a big thanks to Crown Point Athletics, Bulldog Park, Crown Point Girls Softball League, and Cal Ripken Baseball for having us out here today. It means a lot for us to come out here and be a part of this. We want to, from the younger ages all the way through varsity. Obviously, varsity sports is kind of our hub to, broadcast the live events, but, it starts at these levels, and we want to make sure that we promote everyone at all levels and, watch that growth and development. Like I said, easily there could be a handful of kids or a team or something here that we covered today or at those World Series events that's going to bring a state championship to Crown Point, whether it be baseball, softball. We've come close. We had a girls basketball state title not that long ago as well. So things are bumping here in Crown Point. So
yeah, that's one of the cool things about covering the kids at the youth level is that you do see some of them later on at the high school level. Hey, I know that kid. I covered him when he was 9 years old. So it is kind of cool to see the evolution of all of that. And by the way, you mentioned Zach Miller, our coordinating producer. Zach's in the hospital this weekend. So, Zach, we just want to wish you get well. Hope you're out of there quick and get back and start hanging out with us again. So,
and, of course, want to thank the viewers on whatever streaming service you're watching us on today. We appreciate it. Facebook, our site, and YouTube, and wherever else that you're tuning in from. I don't know, some website, who knows where. But thank you for tuning in. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So, thank you very much. And this will
let's sign off, Mike.
Yeah,
let's
wrap
get out of here and go enjoy the rest of the day.
All right, sounds good. This will be our coverage of the 2025 Ball Diamond Classic and festivals here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.